courts such as the High Court. D, the bill extends to service of to matters of discipline and removal of the UPDF. Members, military courts are therefore internal discipline bodies, not general criminal courts, and cannot override the constitutional mandate that all criminal justice, including a fair trial right under Article 28 and 44, lies exclusively with the courts of judicature.
Thank you.
Members, this was jointly and severally the report by the minority. Back to submit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honourable members, there are two minority reports. Not so, Chair. There are two minority reports.
Right.
Second one, I am not aware, and it offends the rules of procedure, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yes.
The Right Honourable Speaker, according to the official information we have, is that the opposition are officially boycotting this sitting. I would wonder how my colleagues are masquerading here.
Honourable. Honourable members, opposition is in the house. Opposition is in the house. I see Honourable Kelo, Honourable Court, Honourable Olanya, Honourable Santa, Honourable Duru, who has ably presented a report, Honourable Namanya. Honourable members, Legal, did you get a report from?
I've just received a document. Someone came and dumped a document here. But I've just read, it is a minority report of the Honourable Jonathan Odur. I was not informed what it was, but I've just read and realized it is
After all, it's a minority.
Yes, Fox.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to move a motion.
No, there is still an issue of the minority of Honourable Dor, which the chair said was not given to him.
But, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable, yes, Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, since NRM believes in democracy, we should allow Honourable Dole present to the House.
Honourable Chris.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. We make the rules ourselves as the Parliament, and we must respect our own rules. Everybody to abuse
provisions of our rules. If the rules require that a member dissenting must formally process his report, give it a chair, let it be. Let's not allow abuse of our rules. And therefore, if he has not followed what the rules provide for, we should not listen to that report.
Honourable members, let's not be seen to be suffocating in a member. Let Honourable Duru come up with his report and give us a summary of his report, his areas of dissent. Let him do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, for the record, this morning I made a phone call to the chairman of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, and I told him on the phone that I have a minority and the chair is here. Secondly, when I reached Parliament, I again notified him on our platform, and then I filed this report with the clerk of our committee, who duly submitted to the clerk of Parliament. It has been duly stamped as received. So the record should show that I am not smuggling, I'm just complying with the rules. Madam Speaker, before I read, I beg these two situations for members to bear with me. First of all, as Honorable Ochero rightly observed, the leader of the opposition, my boss, has led a walkout from this city, and I am his shadow minister for justice and constitutional affairs. You can imagine the situation I'll be. I may finish and I get fired. So allow me to present this report here. Secondly, in tense moments like this, you would beg that members bear with me. During the ruling in the Supreme Court at myself and many others against the Attorney General, when their lordships had judged 3 against 3, the last judgment was by the Chief Justice then, Bart Katurebe, and when he had begun to read, he informed us that his glasses and the eyes had a problem, and he needed to be rushed to South Africa immediately. I pray when I'm reading this report, my glasses don't fail me. Having said that, Madam Speaker, introduction. This is a minority report in dissent of the majority report of the Joint Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs and the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs on the Uganda People's Defense Force Amendment Bill 2025. This minority report is brought under Rule 215 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, areas of dissent and statement of reasons for dissent. The minority restricts the areas of dissent majorly on the policy and principles, defects in the existing law, remedies proposed in the bill, and specific provisions of the Uganda People's Defense Forces Amendment Bill 2025, touching the courts-martial and related matters, including the shadows approach. In this minority report, it presents specific thematic areas of dissent, the reasons for the dissent, and explanatory statements for the reasons of dissent, and this minority report is guided by the provisions of the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, the applicable subsidiary legislations, and the lead judgment in the Supreme case, Attorney General versus Michael A. Kabaziguruka, Constitutional Appeal number 2 of 2021. Therefore, Right Honourable Speaker, each word, sentence, paragraph in this report has been carefully considered by the minority for justifying the dissent from the main report of the committee. The minority prays that time be allowed for this report to be presented to the House, both verbatim and seriatim. Thank you. Preliminary and substantive discussions on points of law. In this report, the minority raises several points of law in both preliminary and substantive forms. The minority submits that meaningful debates and decisions of Parliament can only take place after the presiding officer has disposed of, by way of a formal ruling, with reasons, all the points of law raised. The presiding officer should not be tempted to sweep under the carpet, fail, or casually dismiss these important issues of points of law raised by the minority. In short, the minority invites the full attention of the presiding officer during the presentation of this report and prays for the rulings to be delivered on record in a timely manner before debate ensues. Breach of Rule 75 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament on Sub Judice. During the consideration of the bill, the Uganda Law Society brought to the attention of the committee and Parliament an active court case in the East African Court of Justice, which court decisions are binding on Uganda as set out in the landmark precedent case of Among A. Anita versus Attorney General of Uganda and another, reference number 6 of 2012. I produced the letter dated 14th May 2025, and it is addressed to the clerk to Parliament and reads as follows. Reference, the Uganda People's Defense Amendment Bill 2025. Greetings from the Council, management, and staff of Uganda Law Society. In response to your invitation to meet the Joint Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs and Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for consideration of the above captioned bill, for which we are grateful, this is to inform the Joint Committee as follows. 1. The Uganda Law Society received your invitation letter today at 11:50 a.m., scheduling a meeting for 12 p.m. on the same day. With the greatest respect, the time frame is manifestly inadequate for a thorough consideration of the 150-page bill and is incompatible with democratic accountability. 2. Be that as it may, the Uganda Law Society hereby brings to your attention reference number 14 of 2025, Uganda Law Society versus the Attorney General of the Republic of Uganda, pending before the East African Court of Justice. Discussing the bill's provision on military courts would inevitably breach the sub judice rule, contrary to Rule 75 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of Uganda, Statutory Instrument number 43 of 2025, and Article 38, Sub-Article 2 of the Treaty for Establishment of the East African Community, and potentially contravenes Articles 2, 20, 79.3, 92, 126.1, 128.3, and 287 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.